Hey, it's me, Cleystar, and this is every Call of Duty Treyarch Zombies Wonder Weapon ranked from worst to best. So let me just go over a few rules so you guys aren't so confused why certain weapons are included or why I'm only considering certain versions of certain weapons, alright? So rule number 1, I'm only considering the weapons that take up a weapon slot. So this means no monkeys, no specialists, and even no jet gun. So for complete clarification, here on screen are all 23 Wonder Weapons I'm considering for this list. The second rule is I'm only going to be considering the single best version of each Wonder Weapon. So for example, the Wunderwaffe has 3 versions, being the World at War, Black Ops 1, and Black Ops 3 versions. But I'm only going to rank the one that I think is the best out of those 3. Except I'm only going to bring this up when there's a significant enough difference between the multiple versions. Also, I'm just going to be looking at the most upgraded variants of each of these Wonder Weapons. So how it performs unupgraded has absolutely nothing to do with the ranking on this list. The next rule is that I'm not including pre-patched versions of any weapons. So sorry Sliquifier and Stormbow, your current version is just going to have to do for now. And I won't be considering the use of Gobblegum from BO3. Lastly, and the most important rule of all, expect to disagree with me. Because this list is only my subjective opinion based on my knowledge and preferences. So you're most likely not going to agree with me. But this is still my list, and I'll do what I want. And one last thing is that I've got to give a huge shout out to another YouTuber named Crazy Rabbit. You probably know him if you're big into zombies, but this guy is like the king of knowing all the Wonder Weapons. But I was stressing out about not knowing everything I thought I should know for each of these Wonder Weapons. So I sent this guy an email asking him some questions, and he actually replied back with answers. So just as a thank you, his link is in the description below, and I want you guys to go to his channel and say, Cleystar sent me here. Yeah, Cleystar, that guy, sent me to your channel. So with that, let's get into this! So unfortunately, taking the last place spot of number 23, we've got the ray gun, also known as the Porter's X2 ray gun when pack punched. And this is the original Wonder Weapon from Unported, which is the only weapon, maybe besides the knife, to be featured in every single zombies map. And immediately one of the negative things about this weapon is, compared to the other weapons, this thing's very weak in high rounds, with not enough ammo to compensate for it, because you're only able to kill zombies effectively up until the round 30s. And that splash damage can be brutal without PhD Flopper. Plus it makes so many crawlers too. And let me tell you, I feel so bad about putting the ray gun this low on the list because this is like the original god weapon of Unported. But it was a very close call between this one and the one just above it. But I thought the one just above was so slightly better. But still, ray gun, not a bad weapon, but nor is any other weapon on this list, but comes in at number 23. In the number 22 spot, we've got the Winner's Howl, also known as the Winner's Fury when pack-a-punched. And this only appears on Black Ops 1, 5, and Vedut. And one of the good things about this is that it slows down zombies, but you're not able to slow them down, which I found until about 2 or 3 shots before killing them. And just like the ray gun, it's very weak at high rounds, and it's very limited in ammo. And the reason I think this is slightly better than the ray gun though is because although the ray gun has a higher ammo count of about a total of 240 shots, compared to the Winner's Howl's 45 shots, the ray gun can't put damage into a whole horde at once the way the Winner's Howl can. So if you use the Winner's Howl efficiently by attacking a whole horde with it at once, you can kill a lot more zombies with it than you can with the ray gun. So just for that reason, I thought it was slightly better than the ray gun, but not by much. So just to let you guys know, I'm only going to be counting the total shots of each weapon and not saying how many has in the magazine, then how many has in the clip, and then add them together, because I feel like that's just a waste of time. I may as well just go with the total amount of shots. So anyways, the Winner's Howl comes in at number 22. In the number 21 spot, we've got the Scavenger, which is the Hyena Infrared when pack punched. This is exclusive to Black Ops 1 Call of the Dead. And the Scavenger creates a massive explosion which kills whole hordes of zombies in one shot until about round 42, while also dealing tons of damage into George. But one of the main problems with this is that it takes a whole 3 seconds for that thing to explode. So if you get into a corner and then zombies are about to attack you, you're not going to be able to save yourself with this weapon. And without PhD Flopper, the Scavenger can stun the player and do a little bit of splash damage, but it really isn't that big of a deal until it's a high enough round where the zombies can resist the explosion and then attack you while you're stunned. But I think this is better than the Winner's Howl because this is just a lot more powerful. In the number 20 spot, we've got the VR-11, often referred to as the Humanizer, and the VR-11 Lazarus when pack punched. And this is also only exclusive to Black Ops 1 Call of the Dead. Now first, let's talk about solo. It's useful for one step on the Easter egg, and it can temporarily take out George, but other than that, this thing is honestly kinda useless. But if you shoot your teammate on co-op, that teammate gets about 5 seconds of invincibility and insta-kill, which can be crucial for going to high rounds. But the thing is, this only works on co-op, and it's a very unreliable strategy sometimes because unless you're a pro at shooting your teammate, or you're just really close to them, it can be very hard to hit them sometimes. Plus, there isn't very much ammo to waste with its 24 total shots. But if you have the VR11 and your teammate has the upgraded crossbow, that truly makes for a very OP combo. The reason I think this is better than the Scavenger is because while both of these weapons can be unreliable, the VR11 can still kill zombies to higher rounds. Coming in at number 19 is the Lightning Staff, which is Keymight Spite when upgraded. I don't know if I said that right. And this appears on Origins, Black Ops 2, and Black Ops 3. And this weapon can damage most or all of a horde depending on if the player charges it or not. But for what it is, this thing has a lot of ammo, but it becomes very weak in the higher rounds, such as the mid to high 30s. But I think this is better than the VR11 because there's a lot more ammo, and I think it's still a little bit more reliable to use, even though it might be a little bit weaker. At number 18, we've got the Ray Gun Mark II, which is the Porter's Mark II Ray Gun when Pack-a-Punch. And this is a weapon from Black Ops 2 that was brought back into Black Ops 3 Chronicles. So first and foremost, the Ray Gun Mark II is a very powerful weapon. It can one-shot zombies to the head all the way up until round 58. And this isn't just the 3 bursts all into the head, this is just one of those 3 bursts to the head and the zombie's dead. And unlike the original ray gun, this does no splash damage to the player. I know it might look like it in this gameplay, but that's because I'm playing on town and that's just the explosion from the fire. Now for something that's not so great about this weapon is that you just run out of ammo way too quickly. And even though this thing is really powerful, when you just get into those later rounds, that's just too big of an issue for it to be any higher on this list. But even with that, I still believe you can kill zombies more effectively up to higher rounds than you can with the Staff of Lightning. So the Ray Gun Mark II comes in at number 18. In the number 17 spot, we've got the KT-4, also known as the Masamune when upgraded. And this thing does an infinite amount of damage with a charged shot, which lasts for about 15 seconds, killing an entire horde of 24, plus more zombies that spawn in within those 15 seconds. But an immediate flaw with this is that it's very limited on ammo, with only 42 total shots, meaning that there's only 14 total charged shots. And also, it's not very good at protecting the player when they get trapped by the zombies. Like right here, you can see that if I didn't have Widow's Wine, I would have been dead. But even with that, I still think this is better than the Ray Gun Mark II, because this can kill zombies to an infinite number of rounds, and kill beyond a whole horde of zombies per shot, unlike the Ray Gun Mark II. Coming in at number 16, we've got the Wunderwaffe DG-2, which is the Wunderwaffe DG-3 when Pack-a-Punched. And this was first introduced in World at War no Numa, but first Pack-a-Punchable on Doris. But like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm only going to be considering the best versions of each of the Wonder Weapons. I think the best one's the Black Ops 3 version on the Giant. Because 1, it doesn't take your jug like the World at War version does, and 2, you can't shock yourself with it just like you still can in Black Ops 1. And this kills zombies to an infinite number of rounds by electrocuting the zombies to death and then chaining to other zombies nearby. But the only thing is that it only kills 10 zombies per shot, and it can kill 24 zombies per shot on insta-kill, but that's just on insta-kill. But considering the fact that if it's not insta-kill, this thing only kills 10 zombies per shot, the total of 36 shots just isn't enough to sustain the player through the higher rounds. But I think this is better than the KT-4 because it's much safer to use and it's slightly more efficient with its ammo. In at the number 15 spot, we've got the GKZ-45 Mk3, which is often referred to as the Ray Gun Mark III or the Maelstrom of Eris when Pack-a-Punched. The way this weapon works is that you take your left gun and then shoot this little yellow orb to slow down the zombies, then take your right gun and shoot that yellow orb to make this black hole that kills all the zombies around it until about round 40. Except that's honestly very weak compared to all the other weapons on this list though. But the thing that gives us a higher stock than some of the other weapons that can only last that long is that this has a ton of ammo. So I already did the math, but with this thing Pack-a-Punched, if you use this to its maximum efficiency, you can make 125 of those black holes. So I'd say this thing is definitely better than the Wunderwaffe when you consider how much ammo it has and the fact that you can kill a whole horde with it. But again, I think it's just way too weak for it to go any higher on this list though. In the number 14 spot, no, I actually want to try this pronunciation, alright? It's the Krigakalit Lu Gasata Am, which is also the Void Bow. I have no idea if I said that right, but you know what? I'm still proud of myself. So for the 4 bows, I'm not going to go through the pronunciation. Even though I want to, I know you guys don't want to listen to me do it, so I'm not going to do that anymore, alright? But this is one of the 4 bows on Dreisendrach on BO3. I must say, when Dreisendrach first came out, it wasn't very good. It killed zombies very, very slowly, and it wouldn't kill whole hordes. But months later, this weapon got a major buff. Now this weapon can kill a whole horde of 24 to an infinite number of rounds without even needing to aim at the zombies. And this thing's got plenty of ammo, with 75 total shots or 37 charged shots plus 1 non-charged shot. And a major problem with this weapon is that it's not very safe to use because it kills zombies too slowly. So when you get trapped, you're most likely gonna die. But I think this is better than the GKZ-45 Mk3 or the Ray Gun Mark III because it can kill a whole horde of zombies into a much later round with a decent amount of ammo. Coming in at the number 13 spot, we've got the Staff of Fire, which is Kagutsuchi's Blood when upgraded. And this appears on Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3 Origins. So the Fire Staff can kill a whole horde of 24 in one charge up to about round 69 with good ammo having 132 total shots or 44 total charge shots. And this charge effect actually lasts for about 10 seconds and can kill more incoming zombies beyond the horde of 24. But the thing is, the kill radius of this staff is somewhat small because as you can see from the gameplay, I shoot my weapon, but I feel like the zombies coming from the near side are still able to come at me and attack me. But this is not at all one of the most dangerous weapons to use, but it's not at all one of the most safest weapons to use either. But I think this is better than the Void Bow because it can kill beyond a horde of 24 and it has a little bit more ammo. At number 12, we got the Blundergat, which is the sweeper when pack punched, or the acid gat when converted, or the vitrolic withering when pack punched with the acid gat, or converted into the acid gat with the sweeper. Whatever you want to consider it, alright? It's the vitrolic withering that we're considering. And this is only exclusive to Mob the Dead on Black Ops 2. And when you shoot it, it tracks all the zombies to where the shot lands. And then it gives us this huge explosion, which can kill zombies with one shot up to round 30. But with its 3 bursts, you can kill zombies beyond round 30 if it's affected by more of those shots. And this thing has so much ammo with 153 total shots or 51 total bursts of 3. And the splash damage really isn't that bad either. And I think this is better than the Staff of Fire because although it doesn't have nearly as much damage, it's so safe to use and it has so much ammo plus its ability to attract all the zombies to where it is. In the number 11 spot, we've got the Staff of Wind or the Boreas Fury when upgraded. And this is only on Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3 Origins. This staff can kill a whole horde of 24 to an infinite number of rounds, plus more incoming zombies with this tornado effect. And it's actually pretty safe to use too. So when you charge a shot, you can kill some of the zombies that are about to come near you, and then you can blast them away, plus it can kill all the other zombies with this tornado effect. But one of the problems with this weapon is that it's really low on ammo with only 22 total charge shots. So the Wind Staff and the Blundergat are both very safe weapons to use, but with that, these are two very evenly matched weapons, and even though the Blundergat does have more ammo, I just prefer the Wind Staff even though it doesn't have as much ammo, but it's a lot more powerful. Alright, so before we get into this top 10, I've got something very important to tell you all. So right now I'm conducting a poll for every Call of Duty Zombie Strike map ranked from worst to best. And this is completely based off your guys' opinion. Now the way this works is you go down to the description below and click on the link that takes you to the poll. And then when you click on it, you don't even have to put any information or validation or anything. It takes you straight to that poll, and you can list all the maps in whatever order you desire. And the deadline for the responses is January 14th of 2018. So if you're watching this video beyond that date, unfortunately, this is no longer active. But if you're interested in partaking in this poll and you haven't already, please, you can either pause the video and do that right now and I'll still be here for you, or you can do it at the end of the video, whichever one's fine. So with that, let's just get back into this ranking, top 10 right here. So coming in at the number 10 spot, we've got the dual wield zap guns, which can also be combined to be the wave gun. And when pack punch, this is the Porter's X2 dual wield zap gun, which can also combine into the max wave gun. And this is only exclusive to Moon on BO1 and BO3. So first, let's go over the ammo with this thing. So for the ammo, this thing has a grand total of 148 shots in the dual wield zap gun, but can only kill one zombie each. But then in the wave gun, it's got 28 shots, which can all kill a whole horde. When you're using the wave gun variant, it's actually very safe to use because the effect instantly kills the zombies. But a major problem with this weapon is that it just can't produce drops. Not in the Black Ops 1 version, nor in the Black Ops 3 version. This means when you're in higher rounds, you can't get max ammos, you can't get nukes, you can't get insta-kills, you can't get anything unless you use another weapon. Maybe this isn't so bad of a problem in Black Ops 3 because of that double pack-a-punch, but if we're just looking at the weapon itself, that is just a huge problem compared to all the other weapons on this list. But I still think it's better than the Wind Staff just because it has more ammo. In at the number 9 spot, we've got the Thunder Gun, or the Zeus Cannon when pack-a-punched. And in my opinion, the Black Ops 3 version is definitely the superior version just for the lone fact that it can produce drops. And that's the version I'm going to be focusing on in this list. First, this is a super safe weapon to use because it blasts away any zombies in your way to around infinity. Except since it's so instantaneous, it can only kill a maximum of 24 zombies per shot, and it must be aimed in the direction of the zombies. And it's got somewhat of a low ammo count with 28 shots. But I think this is better than the wave gun because although the wave gun has slightly more ammo, the Black Ops 3 version of the thunder gun can actually produce drops to be able to get things like max ammos or nukes. Coming in at number 8, we've got the Paralyzer, which is also the Petrifier when Pack-a-Punched. This is only on Black Ops 2 Berry. And first and foremost, this thing has infinite ammo. So immediately this seems like it's the best thing ever, right? Except once you get to about round 70, this thing can no longer kill zombies, which is why it couldn't get any higher than this place on the list. Plus, it kills zombies very slowly in the higher rounds, like it makes crawlers. It takes a while for them to actually die. And if you're camping and you don't have Vulture, you're eventually going to overheat with this thing, and when that happens, it's going to take a few seconds for you to be able to use the Paralyzer again, so zombies will surely be able to catch up to you and possibly kill you. But I honestly don't know anyone who would use this weapon without Vulture. But let's look at another positive thing about this weapon. You can fly with this thing, so if you decide that for some reason you want to train with this thing and you're about to get cornered, you can use a flying ability to get yourself out, or you can use this ability to get to higher ground. And I think that the Paralyzer is better than the Thunder Gun because I think that the Thunder Gun just lacks ammo too much to compromise for the Paralyzer's inability to kill zombies beyond round 70. Now in the number 7 spot, we've got the Magma Bow. This is one of the 4 bows on Black Ops 3 Dreisendrach, and it can kill a whole horde of 24 up to an infinite number of rounds, with 75 total shots, meaning that you can have 37 charged shots plus 1 non-charged shot. But the thing is, this can only kill a maximum of 24 zombies per shot, because there's no lingering effect to kill more zombies. And one thing I found when I was getting gameplay for this is that it has kind of a small attack range. So it was a very tough call between this weapon and the Paralyzer, but overall, it just came to a thing of preference. I just feel more comfortable using the Magma Bow than I use the Paralyzer, especially into the higher rounds. In the number 6 spot on this list, we've got the Sliquifier, and this does not have an upgrade, so it's just going to be the Sliquifier. And pre-patched, the Sliquifier could end a whole round with just 1 shot by constantly chaining zombies with this effect. But now, based on my observation, it can only kill a maximum of 24 zombies up to about round 100. But the thing about this is it has 50 total shots that can kill the whole horde. And that's a lot of ammo. Except this isn't a very safe weapon to use because it could take a long time for the zombies to actually die from the effect. And if you get trapped during this time, the zombies can easily take you down. Also, the remaining residue can really ruin your trains because the new incoming zombies can get stuck in the goo and really create another obstacle for the player to get through. But at the same time, this can be very good for camping because it can keep the zombies put until the effect wears off. But overall, I would say that this is better than the Magma Bow, even though it's not very safe to use, just because it's got a ton of ammo. In the number 5 spot, and we're really getting down to the wire, this is the Staff of Ice or Ol's Arrow when upgraded. And this weapon gives a little Ice Storm effect which can easily kill a whole horde of 24 plus the incoming zombies during that effect. And this is a one-hit kill to about round 112. And there's a total of 99 shots, giving you 33 total charged shots. But the huge flaw with this weapon is that it's not very safe to use in dangerous situations. Much like the KT4, the effect on this weapon is very delayed, and it won't save you when you get trapped. But I'd say this is better than the Sliquifier because the lasting effect, which can kill more zombies per charged shot, and I think it's a little bit safer to use, just in my opinion. In number 4, we've got the Apothican Servant with all its different names, or the Estom Oath when Pack-a-Punched. And this is on Black Ops 3 Shadows of Evil and Revelations, but only currently Pack-a-Punchable on Revelations. And this has infinite damage with the ability to kill way beyond 24 zombies with its massive range and long-lasting effect. And this is by far the safest weapon in all of zombies. And while you have ammo in this thing, you literally have to try to die in order to die with this thing, because it's that good. But the one big flaw that made this only be number 4 is it lacks ammo. Like, that's the main thing, just doesn't have enough ammo. But I think this is better than the Ice Staff though, because it's so much safer to use. In the number 3 spot, we've got the Storm Bow, and this only appears on Black Ops 3 Dreisendrach. So before this thing was patched, this thing could kill a whole horde of 24 zombies and would have easily been the number 1 spot. But even after the patch, this thing is still an absolute legend. Basically what the patch did is made it so you can only kill between 14 to 16 zombies per charged shot after round 27. But just like the other bows, this has 37 charge shots plus 1 non-charge shot. But even with the limited amount of kills you can get, the reason it's still so good and still so high on this list is because it's so great to camp with, because you can shoot it before the zombies are even spawned in and lasts for about 10 seconds with a huge attack range in which the zombies can run right into their death before they even have a chance to attack you. Now I would say this is better than the Apothican Servant because even with its limitations now, it still has enough ammo to kill a greater amount of zombies. At the number 2 spot, we've got the 3179 JGB-215, or also known as the Shrink Ray or Baby Maker, whatever you want to call it. And it becomes the Fractalizer when Pack-a-Punched. And this is only on Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 3 Shangri-La. So this is a weird one. This does 0 damage, but shooting a horde or just any zombies in general give the player a few seconds to kill the zombies with anything, even by running into them. But I believe that the Black Ops 3 version is the better version because although you can still take damage by the little zombies hitting you, you don't take damage by running into them like you do in the Black Ops 1 version. So the thing with this weapon that makes it so much better than almost all these other weapons is that it has so much ammo. It's got 48 total shots, all of which you can kill a whole horde with. Plus you can kill zombies to an infinite number of rounds. So this weapon can statistically kill the most zombies and do the highest round out of any one of these wonder weapons. And this thing for the most part is safe because if a zombie gets in your way, the player can just use one shot to quickly shrink the zombie then run them over. But it just isn't safe in situations where there's zombies closing in from all directions. And this is better than the Stormbow because there's just more ammo and you can kill whole hordes with it. Okay, so this is going to be very controversial, but in the number 1 spot, we've got the Wolf Bow. And this is one of the 4 bows on Dreichendrach. Again, with all the bows meaning that you can have 37 charge shots plus 1 non-charge shot. And I would say that this is definitely like top 3 safest weapons to use, maybe behind Apothican Servant and Thunder Gun. But the only one thing that's a minor problem with this weapon is that you can't kill beyond 24 zombies because there's no lingering effect. That's really like the only thing. But the thing is, you might be wondering, why is this the best weapon out of every single weapon in Call of Duty Zombies history? So when you think of the Wolf Bow, there's not really one specific thing that makes you think that the Wolf Bow is so much better than any other weapon, but it's just so good overall. Like there's really nothing significantly wrong with it. So now I was making this list, I was having such a hard time of what to put at number 1. Every weapon I tried to put at number 1, there's always just some flaw with it that stopped me from keeping it there. Like the Baby Maker, it just isn't safe enough to use in certain situations. The Stormbow just can't kill whole hordes. The Apothican Servant, it just doesn't have enough ammo. The Ice Staff is just too easy to die with. And I can go on and on and on, but with the Wolf Bow, I couldn't really find a valid reason for it not to be number 1. Basically what I'm trying to say is that the reason the Wolf Bow is the best ever is because it's just such a balanced weapon. And that's why the Wolf Bow comes in at number 1. Before I end off this video, just a reminder, if you're interested in partaking in the poll for every map ranked from worst to best, and you haven't done so already, now is the time to do so. The link is in the description below, and I just want you guys to rank however you want to rank it. It's based on your criteria, and it's just your opinion. So whether you agree with my list or not, I still hope you enjoyed this video nonetheless. And if you do disagree with my list, which I expect most of you to, please tell me why I'm wrong, or tell me what your ranking is. I would like to know. Because this is honestly so hard to rank every single wonder weapon because literally every one of them is so good. It was so hard to put one weapon over or under the other. So please subscribe to my channel if you want to be informed about when I post my next video. And maybe even like this video if you want to. I'm not going to force you to though. So with that, I'll see you in the next video!